Hey everybody, it's the Pokemon Player, and today we are profiling Metagross Solgaleo, which is a deck that is surprisingly good, considering you are running 2 Stage 2s. Now, when you think of 2 Stage 2s, hell, when you think of 1 Stage 2, you think, yeah, that's going to be too clunky, not going to be competitive, not going to work. When I saw Metagross and thought of his ability and said, hey, that goes pretty well with Solgaleo, honestly, I immediately just gave up right there. I was like, 2 Stage 2s, I mean, it's nice in theory, but it's never, ever going to work. So what actually gave me the inspiration is that Yellow Swellow made a video about this. I'll put the link in the description, so do go see his videos. I changed the deck a little bit, so go see how he built it, go see how I built it, maybe just see what you like and what you don't like about that. So, yeah, I saw him build it, and it worked for him, so I tried to build it, and it works for me too. It is really surprisingly good, and I think the way it works, if you guys need convincing, is that until now, when Stage 2s actually existed as bulky GX Pokemons, Stage 2s were 130 HP Pokemons, things that died in one turn, and so you kind of had to stream them, and streaming Stage 2s, now that's clunky, that doesn't work, that's inconsistent, but when you've got Stage 2s that have 250 HP, that'll last the whole game, it really does kind of work. Now, the ideal situation here is 2 Solgaleo, 2 Metagross, and that doesn't always work, but honestly, it's really, really good. So, we're gonna look, for those of you who don't know at the actual idea of the deck, Solgaleo is kind of the main idea, the main attacker here, and we're looking at his Sunstreal Strike attack. It does 230 damage, which is amazing, it's huge, and it discards all energies. So 230 damage really kind of burns through everything, especially if you need the Kukui. We also are running Kukui in here, so you can actually make it all full 250 damage and knock everything out. The only problem is that when you discard all energies, that's going to take forever to reattach. That's where Metagross comes in. Let's just look at this Solgaleo a little bit more. His ability, Ultra Road, is basically a switch once per turn. It is really, really awesome and useful, and actually kind of useful with Metagross too. We'll see in a second. And then his GX attack, Soul Burst, is generally what we're going to be using in this deck. Search your deck for 5 energies and attaches them wherever you want. So unfortunately, you can't attach them all to him, and then just discard 3 and then discard 3 again, because you have to discard all energies and not just 3 with his Sunstreal Strike attack. But when you use it, you can immediately load him. You can load benched Metagross or benched other Solgaleo. It's just a really powerful GX attack overall, and I think that's generally the attack you're going to be using. Then we've got Metagross, and Metagross pairs ridiculously well with Solgaleo. These guys were meant to go together. Now, the first and obvious synergy here is his ability. That's kind of what we're playing him for. It allows you to attach metal energy from your discard pile to your active Pokemon once during your turn. Actually, a metal or a psychic energy, that's going to matter. So yeah, that's what his ability does, but if we look at the rest of the Pokemon, it goes pretty well with him. Especially this attack, Giga Hammer. Now, Giga Hammer does only 150 damage for the 3 energies, but you don't have to discard them. What you can do is that you can't attack the next turn. And what we're actually going to be using this Giga Hammer attack every once in a while, and when you're fighting decks that have 1 prize attackers, when you're fighting a deck like Vespiquen or something, you don't want to discard 3 energies and actually deal all 230 damage to a Vespiquen to just knock out that, you know what I'm saying? So, and then have to reload the Solgaleo every time, so what you do instead is you use Giga Hammer. And the problem with Giga Hammer is that you can't attack anymore, but what's the perfect thing to take off an effect like you can't attack? Switching to the bench and switching back, and that's exactly what Solgaleo does. So if you've got 1 Metagross and 2 Solgaleo, you use 2 of Solgaleo's abilities to put Metagross to the bench and bring him back up, and you now have a Metagross that can attack because the effect got off when you hit the bench. Then his GX attack is Algorithm GX. We're not going to be using it much, but it can really get you out of tough situation. It searches your deck for 5 cards and puts them into your hand. Now, generally, we're going to try to use this when we're stuck, because otherwise your opponent's probably going to end you. If he does, and you're stuck, then it's not that much of a problem, right? Because you were stuck either way. It just kind of sucks that you lost your GX attack. But if he doesn't end you, you can go grab your Solgaleos, your candies, and you can go crazy if he actually doesn't end you. We're still not going to really be using this Algorithm GX attack. We can kind of set up without it. Everything kind of goes fine without it, but now that you know the main deck, how it goes, we're going to be looking at how we build it. So, for Metagross, which is kind of the support Pokemon, we're only playing 3 Beldums and 1 Metang, and then for Solgaleo, we're actually playing 4 Cosmogs and 1 Cosmoem. As support Pokemons, we're running 2 Tapu Leles. He can obviously just search your deck for a supporter card, but also you can, if you want, use his GX attack. It can kind of be useful every once in a while. We'll see about it in a second. And then we're running one Shaman because Shaman can really help if you're stuck and you really, really need a rare candy and you already used your Sycamore. You can Ultra Ball for the Shaman and keep on going. Talking about Ultra Ball, we are running 4 of Ultra Ball. That's pretty standard. Stays in every deck, even through Garbodor. I mean, Ultra Ball is just kind of key here. And then the only other balls we're running are Heavy Ball. We're running one of it because we've got so much heavy Pokemons. I mean, if I don't even have to show you the card. Look at these Pokemons. They obviously at least have 3 retreat costs. And it so happens that Metang does too. And actually, I think, kind of surprisingly, Cosmoem does too. So this grabs a Solgaleo, Cosmoem, Metang, Metagross, Metang, and yeah, that's it. Our Beldum only has a 1 retreat cost. And then, yeah, so those are for the balls. We are running. So that's for the Pokemon Searcher. Let me put it that way. We're running 4 rare candy because, I mean, of course we're running 4 rare candy. I would advise running 4 rare candy when you're running 1 stage 2. So when you're running 2 stage 2, I would advise running 6 rare candy. Unfortunately, we can't, so we're running 4. We're running 3 Trainer's Mails. Now, Trainer's Mail is not the best card to play now that Garb's a thing, you know? But, we kind of need it in this deck. This deck is kind of like a clunky thing. We need the extra consistency of Trainer's Mail that can get you your candy, that can get you your stuff. We just can't really go without it. We're playing 1 Rescue Stretcher to get our Pokemons back. I mean, there's not much to say about that. And guys, don't forget, Rescue Stretcher, if you discard something early, can serve as pseudo Pokemon Search, because this is basically a Pokeball that says search for any Pokemon in your discard pile. So that's pretty nice if you discard anything useful in the beginning of the game. We're playing 1 Field Blower because Field Blower is Field Blower, and because we're extremely, extremely vulnerable to Ability Lock. Like, our abilities are so key to us. If our opponent takes out an Ability Lock Garbodor, we're going to need this Field Blower. We're going to need the Field Blower to bump the Floatstone or whatever item was there. And then we're playing 1 Max Potion because these guys have 250 HP. Chances that they're going to get 1 shot are pretty low. They're probably going to get 2 shots. And Solgaleo discards his energies 24/7. So Max Potion is really kind of the thing for him. Guys, if you have a Solgaleo and 2 Metagrosses out, you attach 1 energy manually and attach both energies with a Metagross, which means you're hitting for 230 damage every single turn. And you can Max Potion in between because, you know, you don't have any energies in the beginning of the whole process, I guess you want to say. Then we're playing 4 Versus Seekers because Versus Seeker is Versus Seeker, same consistency. Some people have been cutting down to 3 Versus Seekers, but this is not the sort of deck that we can have fun trying to cut out some consistency cards with. We're playing 1 Bridgette because we're looking to put these basic Pokemons onto our bench. We only have these Cosmogs and what are they called? Oh, Beldums is what they're called, God. We only have these Cosmogs and Beldums to put on our bench. Obviously, we don't want to do that with Tapu Lele and Shaman because their abilities won't activate, but we need them to be there early. That way, the next turn we can immediately start rare candying and evolving with whatever we draw into with, you know, the Sycamore or the end we play right after. Then we're playing 1 Howl because we're probably going to be playing our GX stack pretty early. Generally, it's going to be Soul Burst, which Soul Burst is an attack you use early. And even if it is algorithm, either one you're probably going to be using pretty early. So Hala is quickly going to become a good supporter to get you 7 cards. Talking about shuffling your hand into your deck, we're actually playing 4 N instead of 4 Sycamores because, and this is a thing for all decks like this that are kind of hard to fit everything in. When it's not an aggressive deck, you want to keep your resources. You don't want to have to Sycamore away a rare candy. You don't want to have to Sycamore away things like this. Also, it helps a little bit against Garbodor. I mean, this deck doesn't have a great Garbodor matchup at all, but at least playing N doesn't make you discard useless cards. And then, yes, exactly. So we've got N, and then if we start taking prizes, we can take Hala because we'll probably have used our GX stack by then. We're playing still 2 Sycamores. We're kind of switched the Ns and the Sycamores in this deck. I mean, that's kind of what the format is leading towards, but especially in a deck like this when we want to conserve our resources, as I said. We're playing 1 Hex Maniac, which, you know, you always want to play 1 Hex Maniac. It can really help. You can play in the beginning of in the first turn just to completely destroy your opponent's first turn. It can really, really help. And then we're playing 2 Lysanders because, you know, Lysander's Lysander. And then we're playing 1 Skyla because you generally play Skyla in a deck with rare candy. It allows you to search your deck for any trainer you want to search. And that can really help with rare candy, but, you know, it can help with Max Potion, Heavy Ball, you know, Field Blower if you're ability locked or something. Skyla can just really come in handy, so yeah, we're running 1 of him. And then 1 Kukui. Now, the Kukui is mostly so that Solgaleo's attack can hit for 250 damage, because 250 is kind of a relevant number. You can one-shot a Solgaleo, you can one-shot a Incineroar, but more importantly, you can one-shot a Decidueye, which is losing some play, but is still played here and there, so it's it would kind of suck to have to two-shot a Decidueye, right, when you're discarding all your energies and stuff. So that is why we're playing one Kukui, but it also helps our Metagross to hit for 170, which can kind of be helpful, you know, if you're playing against anything that is 170, say even Tapu Lele, well, when you can attack with Metagross, it's always, you know, you don't have to discard your energies, so it's really awesome. And then finally we're playing 10 energies, and we're playing one of them as a Psychic Energy. This was an idea from Yellow Swallow. You know, with Metagross's ability, you can also attach Psychic Energies, and we're playing this one Psychic Energy because it really doesn't bother us in either attack. This guy can take one Psychic Energy, that attack can, and so can this one. So the only thing it can ever be useful for is Tapu Lele's Tapu Cure attack, but the only thing it can ever be bad for is Solgaleo's Soul Burst if you only have a Psychic Energy, which could have been a Metal Energy if that's what he had run instead, but it happens never. Then again, you don't use Tapu Cure very often, but it's still, the benefits outweigh the drawbacks, so that's why we're playing it. That was kind of a long deck review, I guess, but yeah, I wanted to talk about the cards, and we're going to go ahead and grab some matches. We get a match against Water, Fire, Psychic, and Colorless. The way I see this is a Volcanion. Water and Fire is Volcanion, Psychic is Hoopa, Colorless is Shaman, and Psychic can also be Lele, so yeah, that's probably what this is. We get Mulligan again. I guess, I mean, I was saying that we don't get Mulligan. Oh, Garb. Alright, we gotta rethink everything we just said. Garb is the Psychic part of this. What's everything else, then? That is really confusing. I mean, Colorless is Drampa, Shaman, everything you want. Tauros if you want. But Water and Fire, that just, Water and Fire. What is that? That's, Alright, well, I guess I'm just gonna stop wondering and watch until they tell us. Alright, so they put the Altar of the Moon down, so now they can retreat, and we can retreat if we get a Psychic Energy. Hey, that's kinda cool. I guess, a little bit? No? Okay. And here we'll just start Bridgette, because every single time you can start Bridgette, it's nearly always a good idea. Will they take down our Beldum this turn? I seriously doubt it, considering, you know, they can deal 20 damage with Drampa, or 60 damage with, 60 damage is enough, or 60 damage with, Tauros, or 0 damage with Garb. So here we're going to try to not lose to Garb. It's hard, but we're going to try. By not lose to Garb, I mean not play too many items. Because if we can take his item count, if we can keep our item count really, really low, we can keep him so far away from one-shotting us that it'll be really nice. So he's loading, okay, so he's loading his Garb here to hit us for 70 and discard an energy. I don't know what to think of that. What is he knocking out? The Cosmog with the, okay. Oh, but he doesn't have Garb. So he discards the energy, but nothing else. Which kinda sucks about playing N, because he's obviously mega stuck. So I don't want to play N. But that's 2 more items in the... Ugh, that's a hard decision. I'll play Sycamore. If I play N, I get him unstuck, which he's obviously stuck. So we're going to keep it the way it is. We're going to take a Solgaleo out. We are going to... take a... Matang out, and we're gonna GX attack for, you know, everything we need. And here, considering he has 1 prize attackers, we're gonna try to get the Matang out ASAP. We're actually gonna attach a Psychic Energy. Yeah, I think that's it. So we're gonna attach 1 here, and then a Psychic Energy just so we can retreat. I know, right? Taking advantage of our opponent's stadium, so original. But, yeah. So we're gonna attach the 1 Psychic Energy because it gets us the 1 retreat cost, which can really be useful later on. Maybe it would even have been better to attach to the Metagross, so he could have retreated, but if we want, since we are going to retreat for that, we can retreat to discard it to, I mean, there's some pretty fancy shenanigans we can do here. With our 3 retreat cost reduced to 2, we can discard specifically the Psychic Energy into the Metagross, reattach the Metagross. I don't know, we've got options here, we've got options. And, so he took out Espeon, but apparently he's still decently stuck. And he Acid Sprays us, and unfortunately takes an energy off. So we're hoping to get a... Oh, we get Hala! Yes! Yes, I thought I was going to have to play N, but we get to play Hala. So here we really need a Metagross to reattach, and we do get the Metagross. Gross. I don't know how you say it. We're going to Ultra Ball away. We're actually going to attach the energy, or are we? No. No, the energy we're going to attach over here. Then we Ultra Ball away the Skyla and the Field Blower, because why would we need that Field Blower? To get a Metagross, and then we'll attach with Metagross, and not attack with him, we'll attack with Metagross instead. By him I meant Solgaleo. That's why I said not attack with him, attack with Metagross. But we're still going to use his ability, because, you know, try to use his ability every turn, right? So now we've got a fully loaded Solgaleo, and a still supposedly stuck opponent, unless he's been, like, hiding it the whole game, which, you know, I don't know why he would do that. And we got our first prize here. And as we saw not so long ago, Espeon doesn't whatsoever one-shot us, even with the Kukui, so we're all good with that Espeon, even if he gets, like, the double colorless energy and everything. Unfortunately, we have been playing quite a few items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 140 damage. So it's not a one-shot yet, but, like, those ideals of not playing any items, whew, kind of went out the window there. I think the game's still going pretty well. Yeah, game over here. Sometimes when in games like this, I want to tell myself, like, I don't know if I'm gonna showcase this on the video because it's really not that fun of a game. But then again, you know, there's no point in saying it, because if I say it and then I do showcase it, then, you know, there's either way, there's no point. I have to say it in my head. You know, I can't share that information. And we get Psychic and Lightning. I'm gonna say that is Tapu Koko. I don't really see what other Lightning Pokemon there is to play these days. Unless you're playing, you know, Vesp, in which case there would not be only those types. So yeah, probably Tapu Koko. Psychic is Tapu Lele. And Colorless is Shaman. So we start Beldum here, and nothing. We start Beldum. If he doesn't end up choosing somebody. He doesn't choose anyone. It's always the most awkward thing to wait for your opponent to choose an active Pokemon when you're on video like this, because you have nothing to say. What am I supposed to say here? Alright, so we see our opponent. He has Psychic Sleeves. Interesting. What can we deduce from that? Absolutely nothing. Except that he's probably playing Garb. I mean, objectively, he's probably playing Garb, right? 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 And our opponent is okay, so we're not going to play those, and we are going to Bridget first turn. Okay, he's of course, who thought that the world had no sin, right? No one. The world has sin. Everybody's playing Garbodor. There's nothing to be said. So here we play Bridget for 2 Cosmogs and a Beldum, because we already have a Beldum active. And here we're going to pass our turn, or are we going to attach? We are going to attach. Why not? Yeah, and then pass. That sounds about right. So next turn with that Ultra Ball, we're going to be getting a Solgaleo out right then and there. So that's pretty good. And then we can play the Shaman because we have the spot on our bench. That's what's cool when you start with a Pokemon you want to start with. He puts a Psychic Energy down. I know, right? I'm the most passionating commentator. But the thing is, look how slow this guy's playing. He just stomps off. Okay, and we get a Sycamore. Sweet. That is literally the best card to... Okay. Oh, okay. So, we're going to have to discard the Metal Energy and the N, because we do not want to have to discard a Rare Candy, because Rare Candies are the best. They're really awesome. Here, we're going to be Shamaning for 5, and if we're lucky, we'll get either a Solgaleo, a Metagross, or an Ultra Ball. Chances of that are actually decently high. So, yeah, that's all pretty nice. And then we can... Guys, if we attach and Metagross, we can dunk him here. Guys, oh my god. Did you ever think that this deck that runs 2 Stage 2s could dunk Garbodor? Oh my god. I cannot believe this. This is insane. Holy cow. That's how yep, yeah. Consistency, boys. Consistency. Holy cow. That is like... Whew. Here, this has got to be Volcanion. Let's try to... Oh, yes. Remember how Volcanion is our weakness? I keep on forgetting. Let's try to get a start like we just got. It doesn't even matter if we don't dunk him, you know, like... All we're asking for here is to do decent. Get a good start, and then we can beat him. It's going to be hard, but we can do it. I believe in us. Alright, so he gets an extra card, but then again, we might end if we don't bridge yet. Hey, that's a really nice start. That is a really nice start. We're going to play this. We're going to click done. Yeah. And we are going to play. The cool thing is when you're not playing guard motor, you can actually play your items down. And oh my god, he had his Hoopa start. Do we have a chance? Do we have a chance? I think this is what it's looking like. From far away, But, I mean, I think I want to keep the field lower. I don't really care about this. And I don't really care about this. We are going to grab ourselves a Tapu Lele. Is that really what we want to do? Yeah, it is. We're going to need a lot of stuff here. So we need max consistency. Oh, but guys, we can't do that. That sucks. Or we can hex. Oh, yes. No, we can't hex. We're still stuck. We'll just grab ourselves a... N here. Enter Sycamore. We'll grab a Sycamore. And pass. We're not going to play the Sycamore, of course. That would be... I mean, we've got the Rare Candy and the Solgaleo with hand. We're not going to play a Sycamore. And here he started Hoopa, which means he has to retreat it, which wasn't a problem because he just played Floatstone. And then he plays an N. Okay, great. Well, not actually great. Not great at all. But, you know. It's nice that he's kind of breaking a little bit. I guess. Oh. Okay. Uh-huh. And he doesn't have energy. Yes. That's what I like. Let's hope for a rare candy here. Yes! Oh. Damn. Now we're going to grab the rare candy and end. We can't let this chance pass us by. Yes, we have to play the end here. Yes, it's going to suck. But we have to do it. It's something we have to do. We can't just really pass that by. So we're going to attach this down. We're going to put this down. And we are just going to Soul Burst here. Try to get started. Yeah. We're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energies into play. And here we can do two sets of 230 damage. So if we want, we can take down one Volcanion, then take down the next Volcanion, and then we're doing pretty good. And as we're going, we can load that Cosmoem. Let's just hope he doesn't steam up too much, because that would be like 200 damage. Not 160. That's still a little bit more than I wish was happening right now. If he just attacks here, that's good stuff. That means he's stuck. But I bet you he's gonna stick. Oh, he attacks! Sweet! You know what that means. It means he's stuck, as I just said. So here we're gonna switch into our other Solgaleo, which fortunately is charged. And Lysander up a Volcanion and knock it out. Which means he can't even deal 160 damage next turn. So yeah, we're gonna go for I don't like the way you look. I'm gonna take you down. And we will just Sunsteel Strike this guy. And with 2 cards, we might get another Versus Seeker for the next Lysander. We might get a lot of stuff with our 2 prize cards. This could be good. Do I think we can set up fast enough to pull this entire thing off? Maybe. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. It's not very realistic, but it's not outside of our realm of possibilities. Now, unfortunately, Max Elixirs onto Volcanion. What does that mean? It means that he can attach and retreat into that Volcanion and knock a Solgaleo out. It also means that we're going to be taking a Volcanion back and 3 energies on it. But our Solgaleo that we'll be attacking with will be nearly dead, so it'll be really easy to... Okay! So that means he's not attacking with Volcanion. Alright, so he's just going to steam up and hit us. Alright, that means we can Tapu Lele for Lysander to knock that fully loaded Volcanion out if we want. I think that's what we're going to do because I don't like the fact that it is a fully loaded Volcanion. So, we're going to Ultra Ball away this and that. Let me just make sure. Yes, we got the Lysander, and we have the Tapu Lele. Alright, so that's what we're going for here. Then we're going to be in kind of a rough patch, a rough situation, I want to say. Yeah, situation is the word. We're going to be in a rough situation because we're going to have 2 nearly dead Solgaleos with nothing to do with them. But until then, we're doing fine. So we're going to procrastinate our problems away and just grab some knockouts for now. And then who knows what the prize cards will bring. What about a rare candy and a Bridgette, for example? That's great. If we top deck like a Solgaleo, that would be cool. Or if he knocks out a Solgaleo, we can grab it, rare candy into a Solgaleo here, attach an energy, and win the game. It seems pretty good. He didn't knock out a Solgaleo. Darn it. What a shame, right? How many energies on Tapu Lele do we need? Oh, way too much. Do we just Sycamore here? Yeah. We just Sycamore. Fortunately, he seems pretty stuck. He hasn't been playing any supporters. I don't know how consistent his deck's supposed to be, but right now it's not doing too good. So here what we're going to do is we're going to Heavy Ball for a Solgaleo and hope for a rare candy. That sounds like a plan. Yep. Let's go. Rare candy. I'm super pumped. Darn it. But with Field Blower, we can bump the Float Stone, and yeah, I kind of like that plan. Alright, so watch how this game is going to go down. We're going to attach this here. We are going to Ultra Road this here, and both of these were used rare candy. No, they didn't. Darn it. And then we are going to... that's it. We're going to pass, right? Yeah. We're just going to hold here. Actually, no. We're going to Field Blower away both Floatstones right now. 1. That way, if he gets anything good out, we're good. Boom. And now we can pass. Yeah, right? Or we can not do that and put a Tapu Lele in the active instead. That sounds so much better. Yes, let's go. Alright. Can we win this? Guys, if we can win a Volcanion match, we're doing really, 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 really good. Alright, so that 100 damage would have absolutely destroyed us if we hadn't put Tapu Lele active. Then he Ultra Balls for Shaman, which means he's not stuck anymore, unfortunately. What if both his Shamans are prized? Let's go. Let's go. I'm so excited. I know both your Shamans are prized. You know both your Shamans are prized. You're going to have to Ultra Ball for a... Oh my god! Guys, his Shamans were prized! Yes! This is so awesome! This is such good news. And if we can get like a Metagross out or something... Now, apart from that, we're pretty stuck. We're going to need... I don't know what we're going to need. We're going to need a lot of stuff. We got a Max Potion. That's awesome. Who do we Max Potion? I don't know. Oh, I know. Wait. I think I know what I'm doing here. We're going to Versus Seeker for Skyla for Rare Candy first. That's going to be the first thing we do here. Because we need to get a Metagross out because all our energies are in the discard pile. So we need to start getting them out of there. And since we're running Metagross, we didn't run anything to pick up our energies, so yeah. And here we're going to get Ultra Ball out of these two. Right? Yeah, that Max Potion is going to be pretty key. For the Metagross... and get the Metagross out. Here we're going to switch into this Solgaleo and hope that he's stuck for long enough. And then switch back into Tapu Lele. And pass. God. Well, that sucks. Wait, why didn't we see any Shaman? Is it possible he's not running Shaman? No, he wouldn't have Ultra Balled away all his resources if he wasn't running Shaman. But he's running a lot of Volkeys, isn't he? No, he's not. Only 3. That's decent. What if he just doesn't do anything from here? He could still be stuck enough. Why? What? Why did he play that? I'm so confused. What? I think he might have been meaning to play it the other way. I guess? Maybe? Alright, so we got a Versus Seeker here. This is starting to look pretty good for us. Because that's a Lysander right there. Should we just pass another turn? Yeah. So we're going to Max Potion that Lele. We are then going to Ultra Road into the Solgaleo. Now we've got the Versus Seeker for Lysander for Hoopa. So now we're just going to Geotech him, and if he doesn't win the game in a turn, or at least knock out that Solgaleo in a turn, we're good. And then we're going to Ultra Road back into Lele. And here, he's going to... he doesn't even have a Float Stone, so he's going to have to pull quite a bit off. And he has no bench spaces, nobody loaded, and his maximum damage output here is 220, even if he hits. So if he Lysanders up Solgaleo, that sucks. But if he doesn't, we win. Energy and Versus Seeker. Please don't tell me that's a Lysander. Please play a Sycamore because you're stuck. Yes! I don't know why he didn't play Lysander. Does he even have it there? He doesn't have it. Guys, there's no Lysander. That's a win. That is a win right there for us. We just beat Volcanion. I mean, I'm not gonna speak before we actually beat it, but I don't see what he's gonna do here. Honestly, I'm kind of confused about that Parallel City. Was that Parallel City an accident? When you play Parallel City, they ask you, like, forever which way you want to place it, so I feel like you don't really accidentally play down a Parallel City, but I don't know. But here, I think this is a win, right? Alright, so this is a win. Watch. For you Ultra Road into Solgaleo, this is what's so powerful about this deck. It works on its own. You don't need any cards. The abilities make the deck run on its own. You get the 230 damage. You then Versus Seeker for Lysander, for Hoopa, for Knockout. And GG. End of the story here. Well, I hope you liked this video. Have a good day.